I am using a 4.5mm crochet hook and some strap yarn. Once you have all of these materials, let's head over to the table and get started. See you soon! In order to do the post-its, we will need to start with an even number of chains. So for this sample, I am going to chain 10 and then add 4 at the end. So go ahead and grab your hook, insert it into your slip knot, and start chaining an even number. And once you've got that, I'll meet you back and we can start the post-its. So now that you have your even amount of chains, we just want to add 4 more chains for the turning chains. And because I already chained 10, I should have a total of 14 chains. So go ahead and add your 4 chains, and then we can get started with the post-its. So with this kind of stitch, I like to work in the back bumps of the chains. And that is these little bumps right here. And it kind of looks like a little horizontal or vertical line on the back of the chains. So we are just going to skip 4 chains. 1, 2, 3, and 4. Turn our work. And then we are just going to yarn over, and just like we were going to work a half double crochet, we are going to insert our hook into that 4th back bump. So 1, 2, 3, 4, right between my thumbs. We're going to yarn over and insert our hook. You should have 3 loops on your hook right now. Yarn over and pull up a loop. So just like a normal half double or half double crochet, you should have 3 loops on your hook. But we're not going to yarn over and pull through all 3. We are going to yarn over, insert our hook through that same back loop, and pull up another loop. So right now you should have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 loops on your hook. We want to do it one more time, so we're going to yarn over, go back through that same bump, pull up a loop, and then to finish off our little post-its, we're just going to yarn over, very carefully turn our hook, just like that, and carefully pull through all 7 loops. And yes, you should have a total of 7 loops on your hook, including the one for your chain 4. We're just going to yarn over and pull through that last loop. And there we go. That is your first little post-its. We are going to continue working down this chain by skipping 1 and basically doing the same thing into this second little back loop. So go ahead and yarn over, go into that second chain. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, pull through. You should have 3 loops on your hook. Yarn over, go through that back loop again, pull up a loop, and then yarn over, go through that back loop one more time, and pull up a loop. At the end of all of these yarn overs, you should still have 7 loops on your hook, including the chain 1. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7. We're going to yarn over and carefully pull through all 7 loops. And we will continue that all the way down until the end of the row. To finish off this little puff stitch, we're just going to yarn over and chain 1. Go ahead and finish your row, and at the end of your row, you should finish off with a puff stitch. So I will meet you guys back in a little bit. At the end of your first row, you should still have 2 chains left. You are going to work your last puff stitch right into that last chain. So go ahead and yarn over, go into that stitch, pull up a loop, yarn over, go through that same back loop again, pull up a loop, and then one more time, go into that back loop, and pull up. You should still have, you should now have a total of 7 loops on your hook. Yarn over and pull through. To finish off this row, we're just going to yarn over and chain 1. So there are your little puff stitches. For the rest of this pattern, you are just going to follow row 2. And after we've chained 1, we are just going to chain 3. And those will count for our turning chains. Once you've got those 3 turning chains, just turn your work. And then we are going to work our first puff stitch right into this stitch right here. And that would be the chain 1 from the puff stitch. So go ahead and yarn over. Insert it through those chains. And go ahead and do your little puff stitch. And you want to make sure to go through both of those loops. And that just gives it a sturdier fabric. So there's 3. There's 5. And 7. To finish it off, we're just going to yarn over and pull through all 7 loops, including that turning chain. We're going to chain 1 and continue working into the chains of the puff stitches. And that is what you're going to do for the rest of this pattern. So go ahead and just work through those chains. Make sure you work through both of those loops. And you should still have a total of 7 loops when you complete your little puff stitch. And this is a yarn eater, so when you do this pattern, you want to make sure that you have a good amount of yarn on hand to complete this little swatch or whatever pattern you're making. Chain 1. So go ahead and finish all of your puff stitches, and I'll meet you back at the end of this row. At the end of your second row, you should have 1 little puff stitch left. And to complete it, we are just going to work 1 more puff stitch right into the top of that chain 1 that we did in the previous row. So go ahead and yarn over, go through that stitch, pull up a loop, and go ahead and finish your little puff stitch. Oops, there we go. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1 more. And then it's always a good idea to double count the amount of loops that you have on your hook to make sure that your puff stitch is the same size as the rest of your stitches. To finish off, we're just going to yarn over, pull through all 7, and it might be a little fiddly. Oops. 1 more. There we go. Just gonna yarn over and chain 1. So that is how you do the puff stitch in rows. And this is a very squishy and bouncy, fun little stitch to do, and I have seen it in hat patterns and in blanket patterns. But as I said before, This stitch uses a lot of yarn, so you will want to compensate for that whenever you choose to use the stitch pattern within a hat or a blanket. So I hope you guys have enjoyed learning how to do the puff stitch with me, and I hope to see you all next week. See you soon!